everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I've got for you 10 fragrances that could be signature scents. So signature scent worthy fragrances. These are all designers and they are mostly, all but one, marketed towards women. Obviously anyone can wear them, but they are probably more on the sweeter and floral side of things. So I'm going to start with the one that I actually wear as my signature scent. Don't hate me, it's really hard to find. It's discontinued and I've spoken about it a lot, so you might already know which one it is. And it is My Insolence. So not the original Insolence by Guerlain, which is absolutely a possible contender as a signature scent if you like violet. That one, the original Insolence, is a violet bomb. It's a violet, I get a kind of sharp, almost hairspray like note from it initially, and it's a bit fizzy. I'm not sure if it's aldehydic, but it certainly smells a little bit aldehydic. It's a lovely musky woodsy violet dry down. The EDT and the EDP are both excellent, so they're an excellent choice, but my personal one that just feels like me is My Insolence. It's a musky, raspberry, almond blossom, vanilla, orange blossom, very soft cloud-like scent, and I absolutely love it. But it is, as I say, very difficult to find, so it's almost, can almost see that as an honourable mention because it's tough to find this one. You have to be quite patient. I have stalked a few bottles on eBay and managed to get a few backups because I love it so much. So let's move on to some fragrances you can still buy now. So I'm going to go with, this one is Prada Candy Gloss. This is a, to me it smells like a citrusy cocktail in the opening. Citrusy cocktail that then kind of gently morphs into almost like a cherry chapstick, lipstick, vanilla, soft, woodsy, musky type dry down. It's a really nice everyday fragrance. It's pretty and feminine, quite girly I guess, but I'm quite comfortable wearing it. I feel really pretty and well put together when I wear this one. And it lasts pretty well as well. I think it's an EDT. Yeah, it's an EDT, but it lasts pretty well on me. I would probably respray about 5 or 6 hours just to get a little more oomph from it. But a really good everyday fragrance. Probably a perfect one for the younger person. However, as I say, works well for me and I'm no spring chicken anymore. The next one, this is My Legs Akimbo Lady. This is Scandal at Paris, and you can see I got this as a new tester and I've used that much. You can see that it definitely does warrant lots of different occasions and seasons, and this has a beautiful pear in the top note, a little bit of honey and some jasmine. It smells a little bit orange blossomy as well. It's got a richness to it but also a freshness. It's quite well balanced, so it works well for pretty much any particular season or occasion. Again, it's quite good. It's quite a good lasting one as well. You're going to get 5, 6 or more hours out of that. And it's very pretty and you're going to get compliments because it is a really, really nice fragrance. Now I've got a flanker here. This is Daisy Oh So Fresh, and this one's called Twinkle. I'm not saying you need to hunt down this flanker. The Oh So Fresh, just Daisy Oh So Fresh, the current one that you can get very easily is very, very similar to this. And it was actually my signature for a couple of years just before I got into fragrances in the manner that I have. So when I only owned about 3 or 4 perfumes, Oh So Fresh was my signature. It's light and fresh floral. There's a little bit of violet in there. But it's got this uniqueness about it that's hard to pinpoint, but it's a floral woodsy musky scent, but a little bit of citrus to keep it fresh. Very much a perfect everyday kind of scent. but also really beautiful for a night out. I remember wearing it on a night out and getting a compliment on it. So it's very much a versatile scent. I don't feel like this packaging is too young. Don't let that put you off, because it's quite elegant, even though it's got a freshness and a lightness and a youthful vitality about it. Now this one, you might argue, is kind of niche, but I'm putting it in here because it is a designer brand. So Maison Margiela, they make clothes primarily, so they are a designer. And the fragrances are a little more pricey than the likes of Marc Jacobs. They are just under the £100 mark for 100 ml. So you're talking Chanel kind of prices. And this one's Whispers in the Library. I've chosen this one because it's a beautiful woodsy vanilla that I think would smell great on so many people and in so many situations. It doesn't have a particular, it doesn't feel like a night out fragrance, but it also doesn't feel like a daytime fragrance. It just feels like it's just a beautiful scent. It's a really lovely woodsy vanilla, a little tiny bit spicy. It's supposed to smell like books and a library. I don't really think it quite does that, but it does. What it does really well is it's a woods and vanilla combination. It absolutely sings off my skin. The longevity is great. It's probably not one that you're going to reach for in the warmer weather, because it does have quite a lot of depth. So this one, I guess, is edged it in a little bit. It's not necessarily going to be that perfect versatile scent, but you could wear it in a controlled environment where you have air conditioning, and you can absolutely go from day to night with it, but it's got a richness about it. I really love this one. So that's Whispers in the Library. Another one that you might consider not fresh enough for the warmer days is Mon Guerlain. Now this one is the Eau de Parfum Intense. So this is richer with the sweetness. This has got things like, it's got vanilla, benzoin, sandalwood in the base, but it's more about vanilla and lavender, and just this sweet sort of resiny feel to it, but very smooth. So as I say, this is the Intense. I would actually, if you're looking for your signature scent, I would recommend trying all the different variations. You try the original Eau de Parfum and also the Eau de Toilette, which came out a year later. Sal over on the channel, I'm not sure what she's calling herself at the moment, but I'll link her channel below, has done a brilliant comparison between the EDP and the EDT. I think if you're looking for a signature scent that you can totally wear in the summer, then probably just go for the EDT and spray a bit more on the colder days. But check all the flankers out, really. They're all pretty good. It's a very lovely, sweet, musky, vanilla-y, floral fragrance. The main note is the lavender, and then you have a little bit of, I think there's some rose and jasmine in here, but generally you don't really pick those things out. It's more of it's just a sweet, musky lavender vanilla, really. So any of the flankers from Mon Guerlain make great signature scents, in my opinion. So now I've got a Chanel. This is just a sample because I don't own it, and it's my sample of Coco Mademoiselle Eau de Parfum Intense. This is my favourite female marketed Chanel in their normal line, not the exclusives, but their normal line. I've got it on my hand here. So Coco Mademoiselle, the original, is very bombastic, very kind of sharp, screechy florals and citrus, very recognisable and creates a massive scent cloud. Whereas the Eau de Parfum Intense is actually more a subtle fragrance, even though it's called Intense, but the sharpness is all mellowed out, and it's not so big a cloud of perfume, so it's more appropriate for more situations. You still have some freshness from the florals and the citrus. You got the deepness of the patchouli, I'm sure there's some other darker ambery type notes in the base, but to me this is a more polite option. If you love Coco Mademoiselle but it's a bit much, a bit too much for work maybe, and you want something a little more subtle, you could just go for the Intense, and perhaps just if you're going to work, just a couple of sprays is all you need. If you're going for a night out, then you just amp up the sprays depending where you're going. But I think it's a very classic, beautiful, pretty fragrance that can be worn anywhere, anytime. So it's perfect signature scent. So now I've got an Yves Saint Laurent for you, and this is Paris. Yves Saint Laurent Paris. This is my EDP, but I think you could totally go for the EDT or any of the flankers, because there's loads and loads of flankers, but they're all pretty similar. There's not a lot in it. I recently just bought the very hard to find flanker called Nuit de Fête, and I don't really pick out much difference between the original Paris and that one. So most of the flankers are pretty close to the original Paris. Paris is a violet and rose, soft, pastel, delicate, yet kind of fresh perfume. I don't know if delicate's the right word. It's very pretty. It's still a bit sharp, but that softens on your skin. There's definitely some citruses in the opening that give it a little freshness. Very much a combination of soft, violet, like candied violets, candied rose petals, a little tiny bit of vanilla, sandalwood kind of thing in the base, and very, very feminine fragrance. Soft, floral, pretty. It's a girl next door, a reassuring teaching assistant. Here comes the cat. Sweetie, she's wet because, let's have a look. Look, there she is. She's wet because she's just been out in the garden, haven't you? Oh, and her claws are out. Oh, sweetie, put your claws away. Now I'm covered in hair. Yay. Yay. Oh, hang on. No, sweetie, no. Oh, you little bugger. So she got caught up in the microphone cable and she's knocked over some perfume. So the joys of having a cat, I wouldn't change it for the world. So Paris, any flanker, any EDP, EDT. EDT lasts really well, so you don't need to worry about lasting power. With Paris, it's amazing. And yeah, it's, for me, it's kind of like an innocent, reassuring, kind fragrance. So if that's what you're going for, then check out Paris by Yves Saint Laurent. So the one that Sweetie knocked over was actually a decant that my friend Jane sent me a little while ago, back when I was investigating pear in fragrances. One of my favourites that she sent me was Ralph Lauren Woman. Now this doesn't get much talk about at all, but it's a beautiful, it's a fruity floral fragrance, but not in a generic designer, department store kind of way. It's actually really nice. So there's pear in here. It's got this lovely freshness and it's soft and musky. I can't remember what the florals are. It smells like white florals to me, but not sharp or screechy in any way. Very, very smooth. Everything's very smooth, even though it's got a freshness to it. Very clean, nothing challenging. A hint of a clean, sort of almost like a clean muskiness. Super pretty, not mega long lasting, but you'll get half the day at least out of it, and I really like this one. I remember I was looking to buy a bottle. I didn't in the end because I've got too much, so I didn't buy a bottle. I would, if I owned a bottle of this, I would absolutely wear it and love wearing it. It's a joyful fragrance. It's just joyful, and yeah, if you want to give happy vibes, then it's great. And it's, as I say, it's fresh, but it's got a little bit of depth with the, sort of the muskiness and the florals. It's really nice. So finally, last one, and it's another case of you kind of choose your flanker or choose your concentration. I've got two here. I've got Monsieur Cherie, which is discontinued, and I've got the Miss Dior current formulation Eau de Toilette, and it depends what suits you. I'm not suggesting this Eau de Toilette as a signature scent because it's a little bit light. It might suit you if you live in a warmer climate, because it's more about, it's a mandarin in the top. I'm not sure if there's other citruses, but it's a mandarin, maybe a bit of a bergamot as well, and then some rose, I think. Not sure if it's rose or jasmine. Just a kind of a fresh floral citrus with a musky dry down. 3 or 4 hours out of that for me before I want to respray. So that's the Eau de Toilette. The Cherie lasts longer. This is an Eau de Parfum. It's a little bit more complex, a little bit sweeter. There's some patchouli in here, which gives it a bit of longevity and a bit of depth. I mean, most people know what the Miss Dior's smell like. I'm still sort of investigating. I'm looking to build a little collection of them actually. I want to get the the Absolutely Blooming. That one gets a lot of love. And I want to get the current formulation Eau de Parfum, and I also want to get the other previous formulations, because I think the previous formulation to this had strawberry and popcorn. This one doesn't have a popcorn note, but does have the strawberry. So there's so many different formulations. A lot of research is required, but I think pretty much any of the Miss Dior range they are all elegant, sophisticated, kind of similar to Coco Mademoiselle in that sort. It's a citrus and a floral and a patchouli, but then some of them might have a little bit of extra something. They're all very elegant. So yeah, I think anything from Miss Dior range is going to be a perfect signature scent. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoy the rain on the roof and the sweetie interlude, and I will catch you in another video.